Time for sports on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Kelvin Osuansa. Let's bring you the latest in the world of sports, and it's proudly brought to you by Mega 6 Lotto. Six numbers can't change your life. What would you do if you won 1 million Ghana cedis today with only 49 numbers to choose from? Mega 6 Lotto is offering you the chance to win exciting prizes. Don't forget to play before 5 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to play before 5 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Dial *266# or download the iOS and Android apps on mega6lotto.com to play. Mega 6 Lotto is approved and regulated by the National Lotteries Authority. Now let's start from the World Athletics Championships. And after the injuries to Joseph Paul Amoah and James Dadzie, the Ghana Athletics Association has decided to withdraw from the 4x100 meters relay at the World Championships. Well, national record holder James Dadzie couldn't finish his race, pulling up 80 meters into his heat. Doctors later confirmed he had aggravated a hamstring injury which he had been carrying and battling in the latter part of the season. Joseph Paul Amoah, who has anchored Ghana's relay team to 3 national records, had to finish 5th in his 200 meters heat 6 competition and missed out on a place in the semi-finals. After the race, he confirmed that he had a toe injury towards the end of the race, and after subsequently taking scans at the hospital, it was revealed that he ruptured his right toe, which meant that Ghana would have just 3 members left to compete when it comes to the 4x100 meters relay. That is Raymond French, Isaac Botio, and then Edwin Gadayi. Unfortunately, the Safuansan, who couldn't get a visa to be at the World Championships, has caused Ghana another disappointment. Both that is Joseph Paul Amoah and James Dadzie were entered into the 4x100 meters relay, which means Ghana's participation in competition has come to an end 2 days before the end of the championships, which is expected to end on Friday. Now let's move on to the GFA elections, and Neil Lantivandapoi, former Minister of Youth and Sports, says he hasn't been impressed with the management of football under the current football administration led by Kurt Edwin Simeon Okraku. He believes more could have been done.
If the Congress so desire to give him another term, I don't have anything against it. If they also decide to remove him, I don't have anything against them. I will not begrudge them. Because I think that the problem of Ghana football is bigger than Kurt. It's bigger than Nilante, it's bigger than the UFA. And until we come to that conclusion, we may end up sacrificing people all the time. The last elections, let me be frank with you, I didn't support Kurt because I felt Kurt was a bit young, he needs some experience. So I wanted some of the experienced hands like Papse or Afriye so that Kurt will be, I felt that if people have like Randy Kurt as vice president and we have someone like Papse or George as the president, then it could build the sort of chemistry I'm looking at. Unfortunately, none of the 2 people who have had that experience within the FA emerged and Kurt emerged. I wouldn't say he has done too well, but I wouldn't also say he has done too bad or he's the worst of Nyantichi.
So that is from former Minister of Youth and Sports, Neil Lantivandapoi. Now moving away from that, Media Mercy Bochen, Executive Council member Dr. Tony Oben is seeking re-election to the leadership of Ghana football. He's currently a member of the Executive Council and wants to continue by getting another term in office. This is the reason why he thinks that he should be voted for back to continue his work.
The current Executive Council has started a journey. That journey is reachable. We haven't reached that journey, and so if you have a capacity to support for yet another term, you should be able to do that. So I think there are a lot of things that need to be done. You need to do it at a certain level, and then you can then give it to someone else to also push. You cannot stay there forever. But whilst you are strong, mentally fit, physically capable to contribute, you should be able. It's all sacrificial. I mean, generally, this is not a piece of work that gives you any financial returns, but sometimes you get insults. Sometimes you do get. But once you are committed to making contribution to the sport that you love, because anyone who goes into this area has a passion, is driven by passion, and all of us are driven by passion. And
well, that is Medeama SC Boche, Tony Obeng seeking re-election onto the GFA Executive Council. Don't forget the elections is on the 27th of September at the Redash Hotel in Tamale. Now ahead of the CAF Confederations Cup second leg encounter against Milo FC, the Kankan Dreams FC head coach Abdul Karim Zito has promised a better performance that will see the MTN FA Cup champions progress to the next stage.
The way I saw the game going, if you open up, you get a problem. So I have to play tactically to stop them from getting what they wanted and to achieve my objective, as I said. First objective is to win, second is to draw. So I had the first goal, I have to be very cautious. Even upon that, I had another chance. Assuming that chance went into the pool, I still win the game. So what he said is true. It was a tactical movement I took. I'm going home. I'm also having the supporters, I'm having confidence. Everybody will be for me. So definitely it's a two-leg knockout. So I have to do everything possible to beat Milo. But that doesn't mean it's a done deal. No. And they too, they will have to draw objective for meeting me. And they will meet me different team. Now they will meet different play, different system for me to beat them.
Well, a different system being promised by Karim Zito. The game is at the Accra Sports Stadium as Dreams FC drew the first leg 1-0. A victory will see them through to the next round. Now to some transfer news locally. Kofi Abeshima has signed a 3-year deal with Hartlepool. The 26-year-old Bichim United centre-back put pen to paper after passing his medical 33 appearances last season for the Hunters, which made him one of the most consistent players in the Ghana Premier League. He joins the likes of Leventus Arthur, Michael Ampedu, Kevin Osei-Sibi, Martin Kakari, Vance Adumako, and Raphael Amponza as the newly recruited players for Accra Hartlepool. Now, Ghana forward Ernest Nyama will wear number 37 on his jersey at his new club, Olympic Lyonnais, the same number he wore at Nordsjælland. Nyama passed his medical examination, solidifying his anticipated move to Lyon. An official announcement is expected to be made in the next couple of hours. Here is French journalist Antoine Cherat on Olympic Lyonnais' new player.
The expectations are big because Lyon is in a bad situation. They need a new player. They need especially a new player in attack because actually they have Lacazette who will score a lot of goals. Cherki is really good, and Barcola, but Barcola will maybe leave Lyon. So when he will arrive to Lyon, if he signs to Lyon, the expectation will be big because Lyon used to have lots of young players who are good, and after that they can sell good players to bigger team. And for sure, Nyama will be in the start of Lyon because Lyon needs player like him. In French, we have player like Nuama, for example, Doku, who will be sold to Manchester City for 60 million euros. Nuama is this kind of player, so Lyon. He will have his chance in Lyon, and I'm pretty sure that he can do great stuff in Lyon. He will benefit Lyon because Lyon needs more speed in attack. They are sometimes too slow to attack, and they have to get a player with lots of creativity, with lots of agility to go in front really quick. The team is not in a good situation. They need new player to have a new energy in the team, and I think Nyama can bring that. But
Nyama can offer Olympic Lyonnais that Cherat was followed the impact of Michael Essien, John Mensah, Samuel Jana, Betty Pele, and other Ghanaians who have played in France, believes that the Ghanaian connection with the French league will be an advantage for Nyama to perform well.
Yeah, Michael Essien was really important in Lyon. He was one of the. He was in a part of one of the biggest team of Lyon ever. And for sure, I think Michael Essien spoke to him to Lyon. He spoke about the club. He spoke about the atmosphere, about the formation, because Lyon, they love to have young player. They never hesitate to make play young player. I think that's why Nuama could have choose Lyon instead of another club.
That is French journalist Shirat Manold giving us bits and pieces of what Niamey can offer Olympic Lyon. Now to West Ham United, and they are close to an agreement with Ajax over the sign of midfielder Mohamed Kudus. The deal is worth 41.5 million euros, with 3 million euros in performance-related add-ons. Personal terms over what is expected to be a 5-year deal, not to be a problem for both parties. Now, West Ham will have the option for a further 12 months if the deal goes through. Now, staying with Kudus, his Ajax team will be playing against Bernat Tepete's Ludogorets Razgrad in Bulgaria this evening. Well, Bernat Tepete has been in very good goal scoring form and hopes his side comes top in the challenge.
The best clubs.
All right, thank you so much. Of course, we wanted to play Champions League, but now we're playing this Europa League. So for sure, I'm proud to play against such a big team like this as Ajax. I just hope we get our moment, our day, for us to be able to make it, because we want to stay in the Europa League.
Well, that is from Bernat Tepete there. He plays for Ludogorets Razgrad. They were playing against Ajax this evening in the Europa League qualifier. Now, let's have a quick look at some UEFA Champions League results that we had yesterday. And Maccabi Haifa drew goalless with Young Boys from Switzerland. Galatasaray defeated Molde by 3-2, and Sporting Braga from Portugal had to defeat Panathinaikos from Greece 2-1. In the Europa Conference League, Sparta Tivana settled for 1-0 against SC Dnipro from Ukraine, and Hibernian from Scotland West Ham 5-0 by Aston Villa from England. Now to the Manchester United purchase, and Sheikh Jassim is close to completing a £6 billion takeover of the Red Devils. Now the latest on the Manchester United FC sale, which is reportedly set to happen in October by David Einstein.
We've seen a number of false dawns going back to, I think, before the transfer window in this prolonged process. It seemed one moment the Qataris were ahead, and then the next moment it was Ineos, and then the whole process seemed to be paused. And there was a consensus that this will get some sort of resolution after the transfer window, because it's affected their transfer market, it's affected so much discourse around the club. And the big unanswered question in all of it is whether the Glazers really will sell when push comes to shove. And so far, we haven't had an answer on that, but perhaps we are getting towards it now.
If it goes through in October, as Neil suggests, then it will actually be a year since it was put up for sale. So again, as David says, there's been many, more deadlines than we've had in newspapers for this Manchester United at the moment. I did notice today, by the way, that Sheikh Jassim's dad has put 2 of his London properties up for sale for $500 million. So maybe that's the final thing, and he'll lend the money to his lad, and it'll all go through.
So waiting for that deal to be completed. Now to Bernardo Silva, and he's committed his future to Manchester City after he signed a new contract with the club until 2026. Silva has been linked with the summer move away from the Etihad, especially with Barcelona looking at getting him as part of their restructuring together with Ilkay Gundogan, who they already secured early in the transfer window. The Portugal international has ended up speculation with his future now with a deal that would expire in 2025. Now, England made history by reaching the final for the first time of the FIFA Women's World Cup, with manager Sarina Wiegman praising how the side have overcome the challenge they faced in the previous World Cup. Now, England World Cup star Georgia Stanway believes that rumours linking Sarina Wiegman to managing the men's game is not positive for women football.
I think it's a bit of both. I think as female footballers, we don't want the female game to be the stepping stone for the men's game. We want it to be football, and we want people to enjoy the fact that, we play football, we enjoy it, and likewise for coaches, they enjoy coaching us, and they're the ones that are getting us to the top. So, we're not a stepping stone. We're trying our best to get the women's game on the map as much as possible, and we'll continue to break barriers and see what we can do.
Oh, that is from Georgia Stanway. Now let's move on to the World Athletics Championship. And for the first time in the history of the championships, 2 gold medals had to be awarded in one single event to 2 women in the women pole vault. American Katie Moon and Australia's Nina Kennedy decided to share the gold medal in a dramatic women's pole vault final at the World Athletics Championships on Wednesday. The 2 women cleared 4.90 meters in an event that stretched 2 hours and 10 minutes, but both missed on all 3 attempts at 4.95 meters and decided to share the glory. Now, moving away from that, Great Britain's Josh Kerr produced the shock of the championship so far as he stormed to gold in the men's 1500 meters at the 2023 World Athletics Championships on Wednesdays. The Kerr stand favorite Jacob Ingebrigtsen to take gold, but the bronze was taken by Nav Gilgen-Nodas. Moving away from that, also Karsten Warholm continued his supremacy as the Viking reigned supreme over Kieran McCaster in the 400 meters hurdles after a year losing his world track and field title after an injury hit 2022. The world record holder regained his crown in a fine style at the 2023 championship. He timed his race well, edging in front on the penultimate bend before starting to pull clear in the final 100 meters of the race upon crossing the line in a comfortable 46.89 seconds. Kieran McCaster, fourth in the Olympic final at the bronze at Tokyo 2020, came home in second place. And finishing off with some very phenomenal performance from Marilady Paulino of the Dominican Republic, and she profited from the absence of injured favorite Sydney McLaughlin-Leveron to win the women's 400 meters world title on Wednesday. The 26-year-old 2022 silver medalist timed a national record 48.76 seconds to take the gold, with Poland's European champion Natalia Kazmarek second in 49.57 seconds. That'll be all for sports this morning on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Kelvin Oswansaba. Let's give thanks